Hello and welcome back to the Honor Space and an edition of Raw Out of 10, and a big show today because it's the first Raw of 2024, special episode of Raw, day one Raw, and boy oh boy do we get a lot of big stuff happening on this week's show. There was a lot going on, and the show started a bit differently this week with Michael Cole and Wade Barrett giving us a rundown of the card. As soon as they finished, the first match got underway, and that was Lynch versus Nia Jax. The man was obviously the underdog against Jax. She was at a severe disadvantage in terms of size and strength, but the man has a lot more experience, speed and versatility. While the Irresistible Force may have had the upper hand early, this wasn't a one-sided fight. Instead, it was the heel dominates babyface kind of match. It was back and forth exchange that allowed both competitors to be in the spotlight. After the break, Jax hit a massive Samoan drop from the middle rope for a 2 that had the crowd thinking the match was over. As soon as the man looked like she was getting out for the win, Jax hit an uppercut out of nowhere before hitting her finisher for the win. Even with a few sloppy moments, this match was fun. Another good example of how Jax has improved since returning to WWE. Lynch can bring out the best in anyone. So yeah, I thought this was really strong. Obviously a match that's built up for a long time. I think it leaves it open to another one because I was definitely shocked by the result, but I thought the match quality was a success and leaves time for another one. Before it's time for Kofi and Jay versus Kaiser and Vinci, but before that Cody made his way out to the ring, singing along with music, big fireworks display. He spoke about wanting his feud with Nakamura to be behind, and Nakamura just kept coming at him. We got another video of Nakamura speaking in Japanese and said their story will end next week. Obviously leading into the Royal Rumble, that's going to be a big match next week. Looking forward to that. Before we got that tag match, Uso and Kingston were two of the best individual tag wrestlers in WWE and have a long history together, so they operated well. Putting them in the ring with a team as smooth as Imperium would normally be a guaranteed recipe for success, but the match came to a sudden conclusion after the Doctor at ringside determined Vinci can no longer compete. It's always good to err on the side of caution. Vinci said he's okay, we just hope he's okay. It's not really worth grading this one because obviously he didn't get a conclusion. But yeah, just prayers up for Vinci and hope he's okay. The Awesome Truth then took on a Judgment Day. The Miz came out and wished the crowd a Happy New Year before doing his usual Miz TV introduction. However, he was wearing his wrestling gear instead of his usual suit, so that was going to clearly turn into some kind of match. He tried to bring out the Judgment Day, but R-Truth ended up coming out instead. After a little while, JD and Dominic came out and told Truth he wasn't in the group. After some insults and yelling, Awesome Truth tried to take on JD and Dom, but Truth said he was still fighting on behalf of the Judgment Day. The bout wasn't designed to seal the show. It was designed to provide a few laughs, advance the Truth Judgment Day story, and continue the babyface run for the Miz, and it worked for what it was. Donna and Dom tried to kick Truth into hitting the Miz, but it ended up leading to the A-lister hitting JD for the win. I think, kind of in all of those aspects it was successful. R-Truth is as over as ever. This is quite a funny, entertaining storyline, and that's all you can ask for in a story like this. So yeah, good stuff. Before it's time for Ivy Nile versus Rhea Ripley, the Creed brothers came on Nile to wish her the best of luck, so she could use the spotlight for herself for a title match against Ripley. Even though both of these competitors are powerhouses in their own right, Ripley had a significant height and size advantage, so Nile became an instant underdog. The bout had a couple of moments of miscommunication that led to awkward moments and near botches, but they seemed to find their groove as the match progressed. Nile looked great once she started building a head of steam during the second half when she started hitting moves like head scissor takedown and tornado DDT. Dueling chants for both women turned into the chants of this is awesome before Nile hit a German suplex from the middle rope. However, Ripley was able to block a crossbody with a headbutt before hitting the riptide to get the win and retain her title in an entertaining performance that helped Nile get put on the map. So yeah, while you never felt like there was going to be a title change here, it's still a really solid match and did a lot for Nile as well. So yeah, I'm going to give it a 6 out of 10. It was kind of unspectacular, but it did the job for both women, I think. All the night, WWE was hyping the return of a former WWE champion throughout the show, and it turned out to be Jinder Mahal. Of course, he came out to massive cheers. Not the Maharaja yelled at the crowd for being disappointed that he was the surprise return that Triple H talked about. As he proceeds to give a promo trashing America, he was interrupted by The Rock's entrance music, and he got an enormous pop, as you can imagine. He greeted fans along the aisle. He even stopped to take a selfie with a kid before getting on the apron to pose. This was the usual Rock segment. He said his lines, popped the crowd, insulted the heel, gave a new demeaning nickname. Mahal attacked him, but Rocky ended up getting the upper hand and hitting the spine buster, followed by the People's Elbow. As he was getting ready to wrap things up, he referred to the head of the table, implying a feud with Roman Reigns might be a possibility. Other than the last sentence, the whole thing was paint by numbers Rock promo, but what WWE wanted, and it worked, so who's here to be mad at it? And that last line, popped me more than The Rock coming out as a surprise, I think. Just absolutely insane. Are we going to get that match at Mania? Surely. It can't be anywhere else but Mania. Main event of WrestleMania 40. Let's do it. I don't know. I feel for Cody. He might not be able to finish the story for another little while, but if you got the opportunity of doing The Rock versus Roman, I think you kind of have to do it, and it has to be the main event of WrestleMania. That's my feelings. I popped huge for that moment, and I just really want to see that match. That's going to be absolutely incredible. Shayna Baszler and Zoe Stark then took on Natalia and Tegan Nox. And yeah, this was the first quick promo showing Chelsea and Piper showing up to confront Kaden and Kitana. And the second was this match. Natalia and Nox were both competent performers, but Baszler and Stark had a slight edge. The Queen of Spades brought her MMA experience to the match, and Stark brought her power and agility. Shortly after the bell rung, the show cut to break, so a large portion was this unfortunately in a break. Baszler and Stark picked up the win with a double team combination. This may have been filler, but it gave Stark and Baszler a much needed win to build themselves up as women's tag team title contenders. I think a few more wins they definitely could, but yeah, like I said, this just kind of felt like filler. A lot of it was during a break, so yeah, unfortunately I'm going to give it a 5 out of 10, but hopefully we see more of the same from Baszler and Stark before it's time for Rollins and Drew in our main event for the world title. They've been building to this match for many weeks, so it kind of felt more pay-per-view standard. The Scottish Warrior came out of the gate hot and immediately took control. The Visionary had received several staples to a closer wound after the last encounter, so had already at a disadvantage before the bell rang. They had the last 20 minutes of the show, so they had plenty of time to make this feel competitive and give both men a handful of standout moments. It seems redundant to say this is a good match. Everyone knows how good these two are, so nobody's going to be surprised to find out this was a good match. Both men came close to winning several times with some of the biggest moves, but they both seemed to avoid a stomp or a claymore. Eventually Damian Priest came out to tease a cash-in, but McIntyre claimed him. He hit Rollins with another claymore, but when he went for the pin, Rollins gave his foot on the bottom rope. Somehow the Scottish Warrior tried to put him through the announce table, but the Visionary cancelled and hit a pedigree. This allowed him to hit the stomp and retain his title. Drew coming agonisingly close, but couldn't quite do it. And yeah, this guy, this gets a 7 out of 10 from me. Yeah, a really, really strong match. Drew, I thought, had won it at some point. Rollins kept fighting, got the win, and yeah, exactly how it should have been, and gets a 7 out of 10 from me. Yeah, can't wait to see where Rollins is going to go next. Presumably CM Punk. McIntyre will really suit his heel dynamic, so I thought this was all a Rick Rollins success. Overall, Raw out of 10 gets a 7 out of 10 from me. Yeah, I thought this was a really good episode of Raw. I really enjoyed the Rock bit. The tease really sent me. The main event was fantastic. Lots of really good stuff throughout the show. I think WWE in 2024 started off in a really, really strong way. 7 out of 10 from me. But anyway, guys, that's it for the video. Thanks for liking, share, subscribe. It's also for daily wrestling news and squad channels. Greatly appreciated. Thanks so much for watching. Peace.